Hello everyone. So in today's lecture, we will be going through with the concept of sum and average of non-diagonal elements. So firstly, we should understand what are non-diagonal elements. Let us consider the elements which are actually the diagonal elements. So this is the diagonal element, and similarly these are also the diagonal elements. It means only 7, 6, 4, 7, 7, 6, 4 and 1. These are the non-diagonal elements present in this matrix as we have given over here. Now, if we have non-diagonal elements mentioned, now let us just find out how we can find that these are the non-diagonal elements. For that, we definitely need to firstly write a loop for the rows and the columns. That is, there will be a I variable and this is for the j. Now we will definitely write the condition for what? For the diagonal elements. So for diagonal elements, I will say j plus I. This, if I will consider this triangle, this. If I am considering this triangle, or I am going with this triangle. If let us assume this is the triangle which we are talking about. So in this triangle, this is the line which is the diagonal, right? So we don't have to consider this line, but how we can achieve this line? We can achieve this line by an equation, and the equation is j plus I is equal to 3, right? Because 3 plus 0 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3 and 3 plus 0 is 3. It means that I can write over here is equal to 3. Instead of 3, I can also write it as a dot length minus 1. It means this is in generalized way how we can write 3 over here. And if I'm writing this statement, it means that it will lead to me an equation, this diagonal element. That is it. But we do not want to fetch the diagonal element. Therefore, I will write it as if j of j plus I is not equal to a dot length minus 1. Right? So I have written this statement over here. Now let us talk about this diagonal. This diagonal 8, 2, 6 and 9. For this triangle, I have to write the situation j minus I, right? And for j minus I, and I will write j minus I is equal to what? 0 minus 0 is 0, 1 minus 1 is 0, 2 minus 2 is 0, and 3 minus 3 is 0. It means I should write it like this. But because I don't want to print or I don't want to access the diagonal elements, therefore I will write here as well that it should be not equal to 0, right? Only then these diagonal elements will not be accessible to us. Let us take an example over here. If I is equal to 0 and j is equal to 0, j plus I is 0, 0 is not equal to 3, that is true. Is not equal to 3, that is true, and j minus I, that is 0 minus 0, which is also equal to 0, 0 is not equal to 0. So this condition over here, this condition is true because 0 is not equal to 3, that is true, but this condition is not true. Therefore, it will never access this element. Similarly, if row is 0 and column is now 1. Let us check it again. 0 plus 1 is 1 and 1 is not equal to 3. Condition is true. First condition is true. Let me talk about the next condition. J minus I. So j's value is 1 and 0's value is 0. I's value is 0, sorry. So j minus 1, that is 1 minus 0 is 1. 1 is not equal to 0. Again, the condition is true. It means the 7 will get accessed or displayed. In the similar way, if I is 0 and this is 2, again we will talk about here j plus I, that is 2 is not equal to 0. Condition is true. Let us check the second condition. 2 minus 0, that is 2. 2 is not equal to 0. Condition is true again. Therefore, it will also get access to this element, right? Let me talk about next element, 0 and 3. 3 plus 0 is 3. That means 3 is not equal to 3. Is the condition true? No. Condition is false. Let us talk about the second condition. 3 minus 0, that is 3. 3 is not equal to 0. Here, second condition is true, but the first condition is not true, and therefore, this element will not get accessed. I hope you understand the concept over here. Let's move on to the coding section. Here we have taken a matrix over here, and now I will be taking the for loops which we have discussed right now. That is for the row and this is for the column. Okay, so both of them will start with 0, 0, and now I will be writing the condition, that is if j plus I is not equal to a dot length minus 1 and j minus I is not equal to 0. This was the condition which we have mentioned for displaying the non-diagonal elements. If the condition, both of these conditions are true, let me print the elements in the initial stage. Okay, so I will be printing a of ij. We just need to confirm that are we working in the correct way or not. And in else, I will write that I have to print what? I have to print some space. Now, after printing this space and after finishing up the for loop, let me just print a println statement. Let me just execute it and you can see what our elements are. And 2, 3, these were the non-diagonal elements. 5, 9 were the non-diagonal elements. 8, 6 were the non-diagonal elements. And 4, 3 were the non-diagonal elements. So we have gone with the correct way that these are the diagonal elements. Now over here, if we have gone through our non-diagonal elements, that is, over here I have got 7, right? And over here I have got 6. So now what I need to do is I will take another variable over here, sum. While iterating, I definitely have 7 accessed, right? So what I will do, I will add the 7 to the sum. In the next iteration, I want to add this 7, the next new value, that is 6, right? So the generalized thing, I will write it as sum is equal to sum plus a of I j. That is, we have already done this situation a number of times, and here also we will be doing the same thing. 7 plus 6. In the new iteration, it will be 1. So I will be writing it was 7 plus 6 is 13. So 13 plus 1, that is the new value of the old value of the sum plus the new value of the element. It will be equal to 14. Similarly, 14 plus 4 will be 18. And we can proceed by checking out the elements. Let us now move over here again and we will add these elements. So I will be taking sum as the variable over here and I have initialized it to 0. While we are accessing and we are displaying this also, we will be doing it as sum is equal to sum plus a of I j. That is it. Now, after the loops finishes, let me just print the sum of non-diagonal elements over here. If I'm executing it, I will be definitely watching out that it is 40. Now, if you do want to check out the average, so what we can do, I can take another variable over here, that is count is equal to 0, to just find out how many elements do we have, these non-diagonal elements. And I have taken a counter over here which will just count the number of non-diagonal elements, right? And over here I will do what? I will take another variable as average is equal to sum divided by count, and I will now display these elements. Display the average. See, the average is 5. So this is how we can work with the elements to find the sum and average of the elements that are the non-diagonal elements. Thank you very much.